Hello YouTube, welcome to the 7th episode of Suggestion Showcase, where today I will once again be reviewing one of Avro Vulcan XH558's suggestions. Today I will be reading about 3 different hunters in the same episode because they intertwine in each other. These aircraft being the Hawker Hunter T.7, the Hawker Hunter T.8, and the Hawker Hunter GA.11. All of these aircraft are trainer aircraft, so keep that in mind. Hawker Hunter T.7 Introduction. The Hunter T.7 was first viewed as unnecessary by the air staff. Despite this, the twin-seat variant spawned by it lasted longer in service than any other Hunter variant, and became a very important part of the Royal Air Force training establishment for decades. Development. The P.1101, what would eventually become the Hunter T.7, was first proposed for a requirement which stipulated the need for a trainer capable of at least Mach 1 flight, thus allowing it to train pilots for the next generation of fighters. As frontline aircraft got faster and more advanced, so too did the trainers. Oddly enough, the P.1101 was not deemed fully suitable and was discarded, although none of the aircraft proposed truly met the requirement in full. Despite this, it was considered suitable for a role within flying training command. This may have encouraged Hawkers to continue the development of the type privately. Apart from this, Hawker also had an eye for the export market and understood that foreign operators would require a trainer anyway. Finally, the company also perceived the need of a new trainer for the Royal Air Force. Since the Meteor T7 suffered from numerous accidents, the Vampire T11 was quickly becoming outdated. Both were becoming sorely out of date as technology rapidly advanced. In 1954, specification T.157D was issued by the Air Ministry, with specific aim of introducing the P.1101 as the Hunter T7 in service by 1958. The prototype was converted from a Hunter F4 with a new cockpit section with side-by-side seating and a single aiding cannon. Underwing hardpoints were returned for 2 1,000-pound bombs, drop tanks, and rocket projectiles. Development took time, with a number of aerodynamic problems with the canopy being found, requiring a new dorsal canopy fitting. A total of 45 new build aircraft and 28 conversions from the F4 were produced. So let's talk about the performance and armament about this aircraft. The main armament of the Hunter T7 was one 30mm aiding cannon. The secondary armament was 4 snap pods or 24 RP3 rockets or 2 1,000-pound bombs. It had a crew of 1. Power plant was 7,425 pounds of thrust by a Rolls-Royce RA7 Avon 122. The max speed was 603 knots at sea level or 0.92 Mach. Service ceiling was 47,000 feet. The empty weight was 13,260 pounds. The max takeoff weight was 17,200 pounds. The wingspan was 33 feet 8 inches. The wing area was 249 square foot. The length was 48 feet 10 inches. The height was 13 feet 2 inches. And the number built was 93. The Hawker Hunter T8. Introduction. I have previously discussed the history of the T7, from which the T8 was derived. Of course, there are differences, and the T8 is an aircraft which definitely warrants its own suggestion, owing to some minor differences that mean a lot. Description. The Hunter T8 was a modification of the T7 for use in the Royal Navy, being slightly modified to suit their needs. The Royal Navy was looking for a replacement for the Sea Vampire T-22s, which were quickly becoming outmoded as technology improved and speed increased. A total of 10 were new build aircraft, with 34 being converted from the Hunter F4s. The Hawker Hunter T8 was essentially identical to the T7, bearing some minor differences of course. Firstly, the aircraft was fitted with an arrestor hook to allow for ground-based arrested landings, though this would be considered as identifying feature between the aircraft. It must be noted that the rear sections of the T7 and T8 are interchangeable, meaning that there are often photos of T7s fitted with hooks and T8s lacking theirs. Though not a noticeable feature, the T8 would also carry the Sidewinder and Bullpup missiles in order to train scimitar crews. The T8 was also used to train the Buccaneer crew, as well as being used to train the Royal Navy servicemen on board ships in the counter-air role, being used as aggressors similar to the GA.11. A number had their aiding cannons removed, and the Harley light placed in the nose. Some of the aircraft were eventually modified to the T8M standard, fitted with Blue Fox radar in an extended nose to train Sea Harrier FRS-1 pilots. The last of the T8s were retired from service in 1994. So let's talk about the specifications of the T8. Armament was 1 aiding cannon. Secondary armament was 4 AIM-9 Sidewinders, 2 AGM-12 bullpups, 4 snap pods, 24 RP3 rockets, or two 1,000 pound bombs. The crew was 1. Power plant was 7,425 pounds of thrust by a Rolls-Royce RA7 Avon 122. Max speed was 603 knots at sea level or 0.92 Mach. The ceiling was 47,000 feet. Empty weight was 13,482 pounds. Max takeoff weight was 17,200 pounds. Wingspan was 33 feet 8 inches. Wing area was 349 square foot. The length was 48 feet 10 inches. Height was 13 feet 2 inches. And the number built was 41. The Hawker Hunter GA.11. Introduction. The GA.11 is a bit odd, as it is often forgotten about. It is hard to picture this being used as a trainer, as it is only a single-seater. Yet, it still played its part in the training syllabus of the Royal Navy. Description. The Hunter GA.11 was conversion of the standard Hunter F4s that had been retired from RAF service. These were taken up by the Royal Navy to be used as weapon trainers. The GA.11 was also fitted with an arrestor hook, like the T.8s, used for ground-based training. The conversion included the removal of aiding cannons and raging radar, being replaced by a ballast, as well as being wired for the carriage of AIM-9 sidewinders and AGM-12 bullpup missiles, though it is unlikely that these were ever carried in service. Provision was also made for various rocket pods and bombs, and the Harley light in the nose. The GA.11 also featured a leading-edge root extension similar to the F6, in order to have similar flight performance to it, though it retained the F4 small-bore Avon engine. A number were also converted into PR11 standard, being fitted with cameras in the nose. In total, about 40 conversions were made, mostly being used by FRADU. The aircraft were eventually used to threat simulation, used against the Royal Navy surface vessels during exercises in order to replicate attacks by both aircraft and sea-skimming missiles. The GA.11s were used up until 1995. So, let's talk about the specifications of the GA.11. It had no primary armament. The secondary armament was AIM-9 sidewinder, AGM-12 bullpups and rocket pods. It had a crew of 1. Power plant was 7,500 to 8,000 pounds of thrust by an RA7 Avon. Max speed was 612 knots at sea level or 0.94 Mach. Service ceiling was 50,000 feet. Empty weight was 12,543 pounds. Max takeoff weight was 17,100 pounds. Wing area was 349 square foot and the wingspan was 333 feet and 8 inches. The length was 45 feet and 10.5 inches. The height was 13 feet 2 inches and the number built was 40. So, my take on the Hawker Hunter T series, the trainers, I feel like the T.7 and T.8 should be a tech-free version, while the GA.11 should be a premium, because it is a bit better in performance, but it lacks the gun, but it gets the bullpups just like the T.8, and it gets the sidewinders as well. So I feel like that would be kind of fair. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out every Vulcan suggestion down below and +1 it. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Suggestion Showcase.